Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This is the fourth and final episode of our 10 phone farm tutorial for beginners, and we're not looking at the phone farm today. It's here, it's running, but that's not what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the money that it takes to set a 10 phone farm up, the earnings that you can expect from it, and how long will it take to recoup those earnings. Now, my situation started in August. August 16th was the first of the cash outs that I had that wasn't a website. I did have some websites that I was using beforehand, some get paid to, but we're talking about the phones themselves. And I have a list of all of the apps that I have used on that 10 phone farm. Now, I didn't start off with 10 phones here August 16th. I had 3. And I slowly built it up. And these numbers still look incredibly good, even with not running 10 phones from the start. I really didn't get to 10 phones until somewhere in November. I don't actually have the exact date on there, but you'll see the earnings uptick when I talk about it in it, and we're going to go over everything. First, we're going to start about, realistically, what should you expect to pay when you wanted to start up with 10 phones. I'm sorry, I like to use sticky notes for everything. I'm not a big person that's putting it all on spreadsheets and writing it all. I like sticky notes. They're easy, they're convenient. Sorry, that's how I do things with the phone farm when it comes to stuff like this. I don't like going through and making spreadsheets and all that. Just not worth it for something that's this simple. It really is simple. Let's take a look. Phones. You're going to need 10 of them. And if you want to buy phones, this is where the phone farm really can be expensive or it can be cheaper depending on the phones you want to start off with. Obviously, the better the phone that you start off with, the more expensive they will be. But as the beginner, you can upgrade later as you go through. On my phone farm, some of these phones were free, but I'm going to say I paid for them the same thing I paid for these phones here right in the middle. And that was $10 on Straight Talk. These two I actually got a little cheaper than that. Like I said, 5 of these phones on here were either $5 or free, used, just old phones I had sitting around. A lot of people will be in that same position, but just for numbers wise, we're going to say we paid between $10 and $15 per phone. So with 10 phones, it comes up to $100 to $150. My 10-port charger, I've talked about it already. That's $30 on Amazon right now. A 10-pack of cables will run you, depending on the size, between $10 and $15. An outlet timer, I'm not talking about anything special. I'm talking about a single outlet timer will run you anywhere from $10 to $15. Your whiteboard, I got mine at Walmart, cheaper, but just for a number that I found on Amazon when I was looking, $15 seems to be about it. I think I paid around $8, $9 for it. Velcro tape, double-sided Velcro thick roll, a 2-inch tape is $10, and then $5 for a bag of cable ties. That leaves a cost to start up of $180 to $240. Pretty low when it considers your startup. Now, a lot of people are going to ask, because I've had a number of questions, well, you need to have internet, right? You didn't include your internet. I didn't include my internet because I have the internet for my household uses anyway. If you're trying to start a phone farm just to try and make money and you don't have internet, then it becomes a little more expensive. But most people nowadays have some sort of Wi-Fi in their home from their home internet. So I'm not including that in the price. The other thing I'm not including in the price is the power usage. Yes, when people look at 20 devices, they say, oh, it's got to have a ton of power usage. Well, the fact of the matter is, it really doesn't. Now, I've never individually tested to see exactly how much power my phone farm is using, but what I do know is my average bill has not gone up at all. It really doesn't use very much. And if you think about it, it really wouldn't, because your 10-port charger is a 60-watt charger. So even if it was running 24 hours a day, you're still only drawing 60 watts. It's not a large amount of power, and the fact that you have it on a timer cuts that time in half. So it's roughly a light bulb. So trust me, if you're worried about power, don't be. You will not even notice it. A matter of fact, my December bill was the cheapest electric bill I've ever had living at this home, and I've lived here for 10 years. So it comes down to, do they use power? Yes, they obviously use some power to stay charged and running. No, it's not something that's even worth factoring in. Trust me, if my power bill would have went up, I would have invested in something that would tell me how much these phones would draw, and I would get a number, but it's not worth even buying the equipment to test it. There are other YouTubers out there that have tested how much their phone farms draw, and you can look that up. You can see it for yourself. It is not very much. I think it came out to a couple dollars per phone per year, actually. So it's something crazy. It's something crazy. It doesn't really make a big difference. That's why I'm not including it in my setup costs. Not to say that it isn't a usage. It does use some, but I haven't found it to even be noticeable in my electric bills. Now we're going to get to the 137 days between the 16th of August and the new year that I started, and I'm going to go through with you and show you all the apps that I've run on my 10 phone farm up there and how much they paid me, and we'll look at a grand total. Now, like I said, remember, the beginning few months, it's really 90 days or so out of that 137, I was running with 5 or 7 devices. So starting off, you should expect a little bit better earnings. But let's first go in and we'll take a look at the apps I used. I have them written down, and I went through my calendar and took each week as I keep track of everything. I did not include any of the websites. This is only the phone farm. So, and another note, app like FitPlay, CoinPop, PlayBuddy, they are all apps that I have been using for almost 2 years, and their earnings for this year aren't as high as you would expect in your first year, because your first really 6 months is where you're going to make, I'd say you're going to make at least double the money that you'll make after that 6-month period, because all your really good apps, they offer you initially right away. Once you get through that, they tend to calm down a little bit and you don't see as much. So we're going to take a look at what I earned between August 16th and January 1st. App like $20 in cash outs, FitPlay $30 in cash outs, CoinPop $15, MoneyRoar $15, PlayBuddy $25, AppFlame $30, AppBounty $10, AppStation $25, Ulato. That I include Ulato as the family of UApps because Ulato is where they pay out from. So that is On The Go TV, UWatch, UTV. Those are the apps that I ran there, and I made $98. Perk, same thing. That includes Viggle, Perk Word Search, Perk TV Live, all the Perk apps, $90. Receipt Hog, $5. Ibotta, $20. Now, that's not one that you would normally run on the actual phone farm. I do run it on one phone because I believe receipt apps are definitely a way that you can make money off something that you're buying anyway. So you should have a number of receipt apps on one of your phones, maybe your primary phone. But at this time, I did include my primary phone because I didn't even have that 10 phone limit. So why not include what I did also on there? CashMagnet 21, Panel App 7, and Pay Your Selfie 20 for a total of $431. Now that is just from 10 phones or less in 137 days, that's $431. Now, is this going to get anybody rich? No, it's not. But at $431, that makes for a pretty good Christmas present that, your kids may not have gotten, or just to add into your household income. Nobody's gonna turn away $400. I sure wasn't going to, and that's why I believe that even a small phone farm can make decent money in a fairly short period of time. So you can extrapolate it out to roughly about how much you would make in 1 year, but I like to see the hard numbers, what I know for a fact that I made. I wish I would have been keeping track a little longer just with my primary phone. I was a single phone farmer for about a year and a half. I really didn't even know what phone farming was. I knew that there were apps out there that I could make some money just on my cell phone, until I kind of learned, because I didn't see any videos like this series that really introduced me into seeing what the actual earnings for phone farm could be. A lot of them were very overinflated. People didn't tell you what to expect out of a small phone farm. They would throw up a huge number, like you could make $1,100 a month, but they didn't tell you how many phones they were running, what exactly they were running, and they didn't show you the real numbers. That's why I like to show you what hits the account, what goes into my Amazon account, what goes into my PayPal. I don't count it as earnings until I can use the money. It doesn't matter how long it stays pending. That's not earned money until you see it, in my opinion. So for sites that don't pay out, take a long time, I don't include that in my earnings at all until it hits the account. Now, does that mess up about how much you can earn each week? Yes, it does a little bit. But for ones that pay out, I want to know how much money did I make, not how much money could I potentially have made if it paid out. I want to know how much it pays, because not all apps that you find out there will pay quickly. Not all apps will pay at all. There are apps out there that are entirely fake, that go under, and you put the time in, you say you earn some money, but you never get paid. These are all apps that did pay me. The money made it to the account, whether it be a gift card or PayPal money or a direct deposit. It doesn't matter. This money hit my account. I had $431 from my cell phones in that 137 days. So let's take a look. Even at $240, you well paid for your phone farm, and gives you the opportunity to expand your phone farm to even more phones. Now, expanding your phone farm does not mean it's a direct correlation to doubling your money. 20 phones, I'm not saying if you ran 20 phones, you're going to see $862 hit your account, because not all the apps pay the same way. We see that in the pay the download apps, there is only so many that you can run on a phone. So don't expect that to be equivalent with moving over to more phones is going to double or triple your money if you double and triple the phones. It doesn't work that way. Sites like Perk limit you to a cap of so many dollars per day. Now, you can make a good amount of money per day, but once you reach that with the number of phones that you're using, that app or that group of apps becomes unavailable for you to use to make that. Same thing with the pay the download apps. That's why I'm starting with a 10 phone farm for you guys that are just starting out there, because all these apps you can have on your phone farm. There is space for all of them. There is space for expansion. Apps like Ulato and their group of apps allow you to expand out. Some have a 5-device limit. Some you can keep as many on there as you want. UTV, I know people that run entire phone farms on UTV. I'm not going to say that that's the best earning, because it's not the best earning, but we're going to take a look and see. $98, it was the highest on my list of earnings. Now, I didn't dedicate as much time to the perk apps until later, till I had more phones and I had more experience. Use the video, gain the experience that I didn't have, because I believe this could have been better if I had the experience and the knowledge that I'm giving you here in this video. So I hope it helps as far as getting your phone farm set up, show you the potential that these apps can have. And apps like app-like, FitPlay, CoinPop, all that stuff, you're going to have more in your initial first few months than you will. So you will see better earnings. It will slow off after that. That is where you need to work your referrals. Now you might say, is your referral money included in this? Yes, it is. I include all referrals because it is built into the app. It is something that I believe that you should be doing if you're serious about phone farming, if you're serious about using these apps to make you money. You should tell other people about it. And don't do it in the auto spam way that they allow you to. You can click on it and you can send some auto message with your link. Make it personal. Send it to people that you know. Tell them your story. Don't spam it on other phone farmers' comments because, well, if you're like my channel, most of them get kicked out to the spam filter anyway, and I always go through and review it because if you are serious about doing your referrals, that is not somebody that's serious. That is somebody that is just spamming and taking a chance that somebody will leave it up in their comments section. Somebody else that has their referral link that is making videos that are helping you. You're trying to steal referrals from them. Now, maybe you say, I don't have a social media, I don't do referrals. There is still money to be made without referrals. But I would strongly suggest that you use your social media because almost everybody out there, if you're watching videos on YouTube, chances are you have some sort of social media presence you may not even know about. So use your Facebook. That's one that I don't even use. I don't even use Facebook, but so many people out there do. Use your Facebook to refer. Use Twitter to refer. That's where I've done a lot of my referrals on Twitter. I do most of my referrals come from my videos on YouTube. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to hide it. I'm going to tell you most of my referrals came right here from you guys watching this. And you know what? If I'm willing to put the time in to make the videos, to show you everything, there is nothing wrong with putting a referral link there. I'm not telling anybody, I'm not scamming anybody to click on those referrals. If you would like to join me in what I do, which is making money with smartphones, if you want to see the apps that I've run, if you want to continue to see videos about how much money is being made, can I still make money? You can hit those referral links. I'm not pressuring anybody. I'm not trying to scam anybody. I'm trying to say it is an option to make money with these apps. So if I've made money with them, so can you. Trust me, I'm not super tech savvy. All I know is that I can get these phones up and running and I can give my children a good Christmas present that is extra above, that takes literally a time to reset the phones once a day, start them on their apps. I maybe stop in when I'm home. If I'm home during the day, I stop in, check on the phones. Before I go to bed, I check on the phones, make sure they're up and running, make sure that stuff like this doesn't happen. You want to see how long it takes to get off of this right here? We're just going to hit it back there, and there we go. That did not take very much time at all, and that phone is back making money. It's no longer frozen. This one here may take a reset, but come on, how long does it take to reset your phones? It does not need to take a whole lot. It's the matter of you stop in and you see something, you press a button and you move on. It's not something you need to sit in front of your phones all day. I sure don't. I have a day job that I need to do. I have other things that I need to do. I don't have time to sit in front of my phones. In overall time, I may spend 30, maybe 40 minutes on my phone farm, and that's if I need to reset all of the devices. I may spend some more time on the laptop during the day if I want to run videos or stuff, but I will do a whole separate thing on that as well. This is just for the phone farm. You shouldn't be spending hours on your phone farm. You can if you have the time, I'm not telling you that you shouldn't. If you enjoy it and that's what you want to do, that's great. Do it. But you don't need to spend all day to make decent money. So I thank you all for watching. I know this video has been a little longer than the other ones, but I did want to show you exactly what my earnings were in that 137 days. And I set up mine in less money than that 180 because most people have phones laying around. You can obviously go with higher end phones. You can spend $20 or $30 for phones with a newer operating system that will allow you to do higher earning apps at a later time, maybe do some newer apps as they start up. But I've yet to find many phones that still can't run a decent amount of money, a decent number of apps that can make you money. These phones are the oldest phones I have. They will only really run Vigil, but you know what? Vigil is a great way to make some perk money. So some of the older apps, some of the ones that will run on your cheapest phones can make you some of your best money. So it's just a matter of checking in on your phones every so many hours, a couple times a day, 3-4 times maybe if you're around, hitting some buttons, maybe restarting a phone if you have to restart a phone, but not a lot of time is needed. Your biggest one is once a day. Make sure you go through and clear the cache on all your devices. Make sure that you at least once a week reset your Google Ad ID. I like to do it every day if I have time. I don't always remember. Sometimes I forget. It doesn't matter. At least once a week on that, and you will be fine that way. So I thank you all for watching the video. This concludes our beginner's tutorial to starting a 10-phone phone farm, what you can expect to pay, what you can expect to earn. And like I said, I didn't spend a whole lot of time in the beginning. So it's only been the last 2 or 3 months that I've really spent a lot of time and effort getting these phones set up to where I found that they make the best money. Use my experience to help you out, and you can earn some decent money. I'm not saying you're going to get rich. I'm not putting big numbers out there. I'm showing you realistically what I had hit my account. So I thank you all for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you like what I do here on the channel, please subscribe, hit that bell notification so you get notified of when I have new videos out there. I thank you all, and as always, have a great day.